Be more flexible with the things that are in your life. You don't have to get every single thing done perfectly. You don't have to get everything done in the way that you imagine. Because the things that are going to get done, they're going to get done. Yes, time differences might occur. People might not think the same way. They might have different agendas, so they throw things in your responsibility bucket. When you in your head have certain things that you want to get done, have flexibility. Be flexible. Be versatile. So often we like to create schedules for ourselves that have to be perfect, that they are absolutely formatted to perfection, so then you can get everything done. But is that reality? Is that how things truly work? And the answer is no. Sadly, it's not. Because in the world with people, others have different agendas. And I'm not saying that your agenda, my agenda is imperfect. What I'm saying is that it needs to be malleable. It needs to fit into many different ways, because so many different people come in to the schedule and come out of the schedule. And when we recognize that, and when we realize that our plans aren't going to be perfect, that other people have different priorities, that's when we have to let go and just go with the flow and call it good. Put our priorities in the back seat and realize who's in charge of it, even when we don't want to accept it. I say this because today I had to do like a social outing with like everybody in my internship. And I wanted to get my research done. And they said, we're gonna meet at 9:30 to then go to this location, to have like an outing, to go kayaking, to do whatever. And so my roommate is very punctual. So we left at 9 and we got there at like 9:07. And I'm like, okay, whatever, we'll leave at 9:30. The transportation did not leave until 9:50. And that drove me absolutely insane. Because if you tell me to be there at a certain time, I'm gonna be there. So let's leave at that time. Do not disrespect my time, and I won't disrespect your time. When I feel like someone has wasted my time, I feel very disrespected. Because that is one thing I absolutely want to respect, is someone else's time. And when I feel like that is not shared with me mutually, I am not the happiest camper. Because I wanted to get my research done. I am here at my internship to do my research. And I feel like having on top of other things is kind of hard for me, because I want to focus solely on my internship and do my best job and the best thing that I can do, and doing it diligently, time effectively, and being efficient. And when I feel like I have obstacles set in my path to do that, to do my best work, I am not the happiest camper. However, I do think these social outings, these workshops, are testing my flexibility. They have been testing my flexibility, to say the least, and my patience too. And all these different things are a reminder that at the end of the day, I'm getting paid the same amount. At the end of the day, I'm gonna get the research done. At the end of the day, I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna work hard, research hard, and do it. Because that's what I'm here for. I'm getting paid to do it too. And I think I just need to remember that regardless of anything, that does not change my job. Just because we have to do things outside of the job does not mean that I am not still doing my work, and I'm not still being productive, and that I'm not slacking. Because I think firstly, I think not being considered a hard worker and somebody that actually is bought in, somebody who is not wanting to do the work, is very much I'm gonna have to re-evaluate what I'm doing so then I can get up to that, so then I can be that. And I think when I know that these are obstacles that are decreasing that, it makes me want to tweak. But it's teaching me to be flexible with other people's schedules, to be able to see from a bigger picture why the person said to be there at 9:30 when the drive was literally only 5 minutes. She wanted people there early. But I had I don't even know what you would call it, like a lovely conversation with the bus driver telling us that he was in the service and his family's been in the service and he got his college paid for and so forth and all those different things, and just learning about his background and how he ended up being a bus driver. And I think that's probably something that was a valuable takeaway. And then me and my roommate were literally just laughing towards each other, being like, when are we gonna be riding this bus? And then she showed me a meme from this show, and it was bus driver, we're putting on our eye makeup. I can't even do it right, but it was that reference. And another one, that was what I'm trying to get at. Who's driving this bus? But yeah, that was kind of, I guess, one of the more positive takeaways of it as well. Just hanging out with my roommate and the people in our cohort. And then we canoed and everything. And so it was a good experience of canoeing. I think just the execution of it could have been better. And I think also there's a lot of applications in the way that I would do things differently. And not to say the way that things are wrong, and not to say that things are bad. But what I'm saying is I think it's a learning lesson of how I would want to do things differently if I were in their positions, and how I want to be different when I become a manager. When, not if. And I think when you can draw skills that you want to have, you can grow in so many different directions. You can be able to learn things that you would not have been able to learn if you just would see blinders of, I don't like this, I'm getting frustrated, and I want to leave. You can open up yourself to being yes, I'm frustrated, I'm very annoyed. But what am I learning? What am I accessing? Who am I networking with? Conversations might not feel like networking, but in reality, it is. They are. So be it. And so yeah, I want to leave you with this. When you feel like you don't want to be flexible, when you feel like you're getting impatient because things are not being done the way that you want them to, ask yourself what you can learn. Ask yourself, how can I use my frustration to help me grow, to help me learn? Because so often we can just get stuck in this emotion. We can get stuck, thinking that I'm perfectly fine. I'm not the problem. They are. No. Think about it from their perspective. Are you being a problem? Am I being a problem? I probably definitely was being a problem, just not physically a problem, just probably an internal problem. But how can you grow? How can you change? And how would you do things differently? And what will you do differently? I think when you can kind of see the bigger picture rather than the annoyance part, that's when everything can change for you. Food for thought.